Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Welcome in to the Week 11 edition of the LL League Football Podcast. It's the Huddle, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Week 11, you know what that means? That means playoffs. Here we go. Are you ready? Fun 10 weeks, quick 10 weeks in the books. Postseason gets started Friday. 12 games featuring local teams, 9 District 3 playoff games, and 3 Eastern Conference playoff games. I'll be honest with you. Never really paid much attention to the Eastern Conference games because there was never really any LL teams in it. And then Burks jumped on board a couple of years ago, and more Burks teams over the years have played in those games. So Burks Catholic's been in it the last couple of years. Hamburg was in it. Might have been somebody else in there. I don't remember. So I had to pay a little closer attention to it the last couple of years. This year, lo and behold, Pequea Valley, which I forgot was in the Eastern Conference. I think they might be the only LL team in the Eastern Conference, quite frankly. I'm probably missing somebody. But PV made it. They win Week 10 against Kutztown, and they get in. So Pequea Valley will play a postseason football game for the first time in the 26 years of its football program. So tip of the cap to those guys. They are in one of 3 Eastern Conference games on Friday. I will get to those. I will get to the 9 district games in a sec. First things first, tip of the cap to the section champions for 2024. 5 sections, 5 outright winners. No ties this year. There were 2 3-way ties last year. This year, 5 outright winners quickly. Wilson in Section 1. Bulldogs beat Manheim Township last week in Neffsville. Wilson played great. Penalty flags were a huge bugaboo for the Blue Streaks, who had their 19-game regular season unbeaten streak snapped. Wilson, Section 1 champ Conestoga Valley, runs the table. They beat Mifflinburg, put up 52 last week. Bucks, 10-0, first time since 1985, first outright Section 2 title since 2006. Section 3, Conrad Weiser had already clinched in Week 9. They run the table and go 10-0 with a Week 10 win over Unionville. Section 4, Saturday, LS 20, Wyomissing 7. Got to cover that. Pioneers played great. Rugged defense. House rush for 100. Brown rush for 100. LS held YO to like 2 or 3 yards a carry. Punched one in late to cap it. LS 10-0. They win Section 4. Section 5 champ outright Schuylkill Valley. They finally took care of Lancaster Catholic in a Week 10 game. Panthers win 40-29. They run the table in Section 5, win it outright. So a lot of those teams are not playing this week. They had byes. Schuylkill Valley is playing, Lancaster Catholic is playing, but LS is off, Twin Valley's off, YO is off, Wilson's off. Yeah, a lot of teams, a lot of games, but a lot of byes here for some LL teams. Calico will play this week. They open defense of their 5A back-to-back titles. So, okay, let's break it down. 12 games, 9 in District 3, 3 in the Eastern Conference. Nuggets and picks. And up front, some of these teams I don't know a whole heck of a lot about. It's Wednesday as we record, so I've had early in the week here to do a little homework, little max preps, a little clicking around the interwebs. But I don't know every name and every stat for some of these non-LLs. Sorry, I will do my best, but I can certainly share some LL nuggets and make some educated picks for this week. Yellow card. Week 11, here we go. 6A, District 3, Hempfield at Cedar Crest. Rematch. These guys just played, literally, October 18th, Week 9 at Cedar Crest. Falcons won 31-27. Got a late pick from Trey Wampshire. Isaiah Zimmerman had a big game, 200 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Hempfield hung tough, had a shot. Crest wins. So this is your rematch. We were at Hempfield this week for the video show. Hempfield's in 4-6. 10 seed, got the last one. Here's why. Their 6 losses, the teams that they lost to, 4 of them are 9-1. And their 6 losses, those teams are 48-12. So strength of schedule definitely helped the Black Knights. That's why they're in, despite a 4-6 mark. I have Cedar Crest circled, beat them the first time, close. They got home field. Zimmerman's running the heck out of the ball. They scored 62 last week in the Cedar Bowl against Lebanon, so they got some mo. I'll go Cedar Crest over Hempfield, but Hempfield's playing with house money, so don't sleep on them. Falcons over Knights. Governor Mifflin at Cumberland Valley is the other 6A game. Cumberland Valley's in districts. 32nd time. They have 51 district wins and 13 championships. They know their way around a district bracket. Mifflin, first time as a 6A program, is in. They lose to Effort in week 10, but still nab a spot. Both teams are known for their rushing attacks over the years, a lot of veer, a lot of wing T, etc. Cumberland Valley, a little more spread these days. They had a freshman quarterback play last week, and he lit it up. 4 touchdown passes against Cedar Cliff. Mifflin has really run the heck out of the ball this year, and they are back in the D3 playoffs, first time in a couple of years. I have Cumberland Valley circled. Eagles are at home. Like their playoff pedigree, can Mifflin run for 300 yards and win the game? Sure. But I'll go CV here at home. Winner gets Manheim Township, and the Hemp Crest winner gets Wilson. So we could have some rematches next week. Cumberland Valley over Mifflin. 5A games Friday night. Hershey, Trojans, at Calico, Eagles. Going for the 3-peat in this bracket. Josh Meyer, the quarterback, and Dane Horning, the fullback, both went over 1,000 rushing yards last week. So double-barreled 1K rushers for the Eagles. Lost in week 9 to Weiser, yes. Had a good come-from-behind win last week against Fleetwood. Meyer had a fourth-quarter touchdown keeper to win that one. So a little mo and a home game. Trojans back here again. They were in the semis last year, lost to Ephrata in the Final Four. So they know their way around this bracket. I have Calico circled. As I wrote this week, I will ride their November mo another week. I think the winner here gets Mechanicsburg, which is 10-0. Calico over Hershey in Denver. Southwestern Mustangs out of York Adams at Exeter. Eagles bounced back last week after their sucker punch loss to CV at the end, 2-point play. Figured they would snap back pretty quickly, and they did. They put 71 up on E-Town. So Exeter got its mo back, and they do not want a repeat of last year when they flamed out. They lost to CV in week 9. They lost to Manheim Central in week 10. They lost to Hershey in the district opener for 3 losses in a row. I don't think that happens here. Exeter at home. Southwestern's got a good passing attack. Quarterback's at 1,800 plus yards up top. But I like Exeter if it gets to be some kind of a shootout game with Zandier and just a lot of weapons. So Eagles win in advance this time. And then I think the winner there gets the top seed, which is undefeated New Oxford. So 5A is a cool bracket. Eagles over Mustangs. Last 5A game, Warwick at Shippensburg. Greyhounds. Warwick, enjoy the bus ride. Warriors get in. They beat Manheim Central in week 10, 6-3. Not a baseball score. So Warwick goes 5-5 and gets in. Effort to beat Mifflin, but remained on the 13 line and did not get in. They did not jump Warwick in week 10. Warriors are in. Stingy defense, not a ton of offensive numbers. Ship's been good. They're 9-1, and their only loss was week 10 against Mechanicsburg in a mid-pen Keystone game, I want to say. So Ship's been good, and they've been here. I think they're probably going to have a little more offense than Warwick. We'll see if the Warriors defense really comes up big here, but for pick purposes, let's go Greyhounds over Warriors. 4A, 4A game on Friday night, and it's an all LL showdown, and it's a rematch. Octorara 5-5 at Elco 5-5. These teams just kind of played this month. Week 7, also in Myerstown. Elco won that one 24-14. Steven Rosado had a big night on the ground. 125 yards and 2 TD keepers. The Mitchell Frederick fullback kid for Elco has been good. Second half of the year, up around 600 rushing yards. He's had 3 100-yard nights. He had 133 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week in a Week 10 win over Northern Lebanon. So some good vibes for Elco. Octorara's in. They get a Week 10 win over Donegal to punch their ticket. Second District 3 playoff trip for the Braves since they joined the LL. I have Elco circled. Winner here goes to LS next week, and that'll also be a rematch because they're all in Section 4. I have the Raiders circled. They're at home. Little Mo playing really good in the second half once they got through the middle of that meaty schedule. I'll go Elco here. Enjoy the rematch in Myerstown. Raiders over Braves. Triple A, Friday night. Littlestown Thunderbolts, dig it, at Schuylkill Valley, outright Section 5 champs. Panthers playing well. Found a way to beat Lancaster Catholic, finally. 7 wins in a row here after a 1-2 start. Panthers have found it. Logan Narwaki, great year throwing the ball. 2,100 passing yards, leads the league. 30 touchdowns, leads the league. Luke Spots is up to 50 catches from his tight end spot. He's a weapon, 800 yards. Schuylkill Valley's got speed kids on the flanks. Don't run the ball a whole heck of a lot. Cooper Hohenadels had a 100-yard game sprinkled in here or there, but the Panthers offense has been kind of dynamic, and they can spread you out. Thunderbolts were in this game last year, played Schuylkill Valley in this round last year, so this is a rematch. Panthers won that game 45-21. So I'll go Schuylkill Valley again, riding the Mo, section champs at home. Winner, I think it's Trinity next week, the 2 seed. Interesting. Schuylkill Valley here. Panthers over Thunderbolts. The other game is Burks Catholic at Biglerville, the Canners. Tons of fun nicknames this week. Thunderbolts, Canners. Dig it. Burks Catholic playing really well. 4 wins in a row. Susky, the quarterback, has been unreal in these 4 wins. Almost 600 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, no picks, completing like almost 80% of his passes. I've said their names again. I'll say it again. Gumby, Rose, Gerald. Those 3 have been really good coming out of the backfield. Welker's had a couple of good weeks catching the ball, 3 or 4 touchdowns in the last couple of games. So Burks' offense has been really good. Canners, I was surprised to read, they're back in districts for the first time since 2015. 8 years since Biglerville's been in districts. That surprised me a little bit. And the first time they'll play as a 3A program. They have 7 wins, playing well at home. Burks Catholic's offense, good. Crooked numbers, they've been going up top. They can beat you on the ground. And Burks Catholic's back in the district playoffs for the first time in a couple of years after winning back-to-back Eastern Conference 3A titles. Yeah. Burks Catholic here. Got them circled. Love the way their O is going. Saints over Canners. The AA game is a beauty, and it's also a rematch. A lot of rematches this week. Camp Hill at Lancaster Catholic. Wow. Camp Hill is the defending champ in this bracket in 2A. Catholic's down to 2A this year after being up in 3A and losing to West Perry in the last 2 3A semifinal games. So the Crusaders are kind of due to win a district game here after back-to-back semifinal ousters. Week 1, these teams played also at Catholic. 42-41 Crusaders in double overtime. Wow. Brandon Way, 3 touchdown runs, 180 plus on the ground. He had the touchdown in the second OT, and Catholic made the point after to win it. Camp Hill, they will go up top. Drew Brandstetter, the quarterback, 2,100 passing yards. He's at 7,500 for his career. Blue chipper kid. 5 or 6 wideouts with double-digit catches. So Camp Hill will definitely go vertical here on the turf at Catholic. I have the Lions circled. I know Catholic beat them. Catholic's got to pick up the pieces quick after Schuylkill Valley last week. I think the Lions might have a bone to pick coming back here for the rematch, and they have a title to defend. This one could be close, but I'll go Camp Hill over Catholic. Okay, 3 Eastern Conference games. Again, I will not go into the Eastern Conference and the intricacies of those rankings. It's basically the eastern side of the state, District 11, District 2, a couple of District 3s. And basically, if those teams don't make their district playoffs, they're eligible for this Eastern Conference game. They call it a championship game. Obviously, if these teams aren't making their district brackets, they don't have great records. There's no 10-0s or 9-1s playing in these games. It's a lot of 5-5s and 2-8s and 3-7s, which is fine. But this Eastern Conference thing is a pretty big deal. It used to be back in the day. And like I said, now that there's an LL in it and Burks teams in it, I pay a little more attention. Let's start with this game Friday night. Pequea Valley at Tamaqua, Blue Raiders, up 61 North, Schuylkill Valley, Schuylkill County way. PV, 26th year of varsity football at Pequea Valley and Kinzers. This is their first postseason game. So a big deal for those guys. Not a district game, okay, but a playoff game, a postseason game. Pequea Valley will have a Week 11 for the first time ever in 200-plus varsity tackle football games. So good for those guys. 5-5, beat Kutztown last week. They've been stingy on D throughout, and they got the wing tee, and they can hog the ball and do some things. Tamaqua is a 6-win team in the Schuylkill League. They have some funky defensive numbers. They crash backfields. They have like 20-plus sacks. Almost 80 tackles for losses, and they can really go get it. And apparently the quarterback is good, like an all-star guy, 1,000-yard passer kid. So tricky defensive test here for Pequea Valley. Have to climb on the bus and go 80 miles to Schuylkill County. I have Tamaqua circled for pick purposes, but you know what? Enjoy the heck out of a Week 11 game and that bus ride. Pequea Valley. Blue Raiders over Braves. And oh, by the way, I will see you Friday night in Tamaqua. I could not pass this up. I've been covering Pequea Valley literally since they started. I remember covering their first game in 1998. And getting to see them in a playoff game is a pretty cool story. So Tamaqua, catch you Friday. Hamburg, 4A game. Hamburg at North Pocono. The Trojans. Hamburg back in the EC. They played Burks Catholic in the 3A final last year. Burks Catholic won that one. Hamburg's up to 4A this year. Shuey came back last week from his injury. Had a couple touchdown passes. Hamburg beat Columbia last week in Week 10 to get a spot here. North Pocono, again, 4 wins, 5 wins. But they get a home game. And I have them circled. Hamburg's got a shot here to finish strong. Shuey can probably get to some kind of records, passing, rushing. I know he's approaching some things. But for pick purposes, I'll go North Pocono here. NP over Hamburg. Last game, Muhlenberg at William Allen, the Canaries, which might be the best nickname of the week. That game will be played at J. Barney Crum Stadium in Allentown. I've been there a couple of times, but not for years, and it's a really cool, old yet modern stadium, kind of up on a hill, and it's a really cool place to watch a game. So Muhlenberg fans, go make the trip to Allentown and watch this game. Muhlenberg in with 3 wins, okay, but they played a good schedule. Cameron Small, 1,842 yards, needs 158 for a 2,000-yard season. It would be the 4th 2,000-yard season in Berks County history. It would be the 10th 2,000-yard rushing season by an LL back. So that's a pretty cool storyline here. We'll see if Mr. Small can cap his unreal season by getting to 2,000. That'd be pretty cool. I have William Allen circled, home game for them. Snapped a long losing streak last week with a OT win, so they got a little mo. So I'll go home team. Canaries over Mules. Week 11 winners. Here they come. Cedar Crest, Cumberland Valley, Calico, Exeter, Ship, Elco, Schuylkill Valley, Burks Catholic, Camp Hill, Tamaqua, North Pocono, William Allen. Enjoy week 11. I will see you Friday night for Pequay Valley at Tamaqua. I've never been to Tamaqua. I might have covered a girls' basketball game there like 25 years ago. I don't remember, but I've never covered football there. Enjoy the games. Some of these teams obviously are going to win in advance, and then a whole bunch of LL teams got first-round buys. We'll be back at it next week. There should be more rematches next week in Week 12. Stay tuned. It's the Huddle, LL League Football Podcast, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Enjoy the Week 11 playoff games. Lancaster Online for box scores, stats, game stories, photo galleries, the works. And I'll catch you back here next week for more playoff action. Talk to you soon. Thanks.